Hey guys, it's me Ava, and I'm super excited today because I've got Ella Henderson here with me. So thank you so much for joining us on the Voice Radio and TV. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Thanks for having me. It's exciting to actually do something with people that are in a different country right now with everything going on in the world.
Yeah, right. It's really exciting for us to have you as well. And I really want to talk to you about your latest song. So it's called Let's Go Home Together. It came out recently, and the music video came out recently as well. So It's a beautiful song, by the way. I love it. The video is really nice and fun as well. I love it too. So tell me more about the inspiration behind it, the process, everything that happened.
Yeah, I mean, I wrote this song about 4 years ago, and I originally wrote it with James Arthur. And him and I are really good friends, and it's always a song that we loved so much, and I've always wanted to put this record out and release it. And it was just a situation where James and I, our diaries kind of collided with having it being released this year. So then came the idea of getting somebody else on the track, and Tom Grennan is a great friend of mine, and I just felt as though he was the only person really that could kind of fit that character and that mold to be, I'm singing about bad tattoos, and it's quite descriptive in the lyrics, and he just fitted the part, and he absolutely smashed it when he vocaled it. I've always loved this song. I think it's got a lot of comedy in it, and it's quite tongue-in-cheek. It's I feel like this song right now, I mean, here in the UK, we're still in lockdown. We all miss being in the pub, and we just wanted to bring that back to everyone and remind everyone that one day we will all be back in the pub with each other, having a drink, having a good time, and back with our friends.
Definitely. Yeah. When I was watching the video, I was like, oh my God, I missed that so much. I wish I were in a bar, in a pub somewhere with people around me. Yeah.
Even the bad things about a pub we miss, like even the smells, like even the gross stuff.
I know, right?
I miss it. Yeah.
Yeah, we all do. So it's a really nice reminder that things are gonna be okay. And I know that it reached #1 on the big top 40 in the UK recently, which is amazing. Congratulations for that. It's a great success. How do you feel about that? Obviously, you're happy.
Oh my gosh. It's mad. So happy. I think releasing a song in these times is always like a scary feeling anyway, because you can't do what we'd normally do as artists. We can't get to perform for our fans and do all of that. But this is a song I'm so passionate about. So to see it have this positive reaction and, people really connecting with it, that means so much. And I think it's really exciting for me because this song sonically is probably a foundation of what's to come from me as a solo artist now with my music. So hearing it received in this way is super exciting for me and my project.
For sure, yeah. And you said that you wrote it 4 years ago. So how come it took you all this time to, get someone to do it with and get the music video out? Why 4 years?
I mean, we didn't decide, we're going to take a while to release it. I think it was just a case of a lot's changed in my life. I've changed record labels and a lot's gone on in my personal life. And I kind of took a little bit of time to grow as a person and as a young woman in this industry. And I feel like over the last year, I've really developed in the studio and developed my sound. And this felt like the right song to come back into everything again as a proper release with my new label. So yeah, it just felt like the right song, and it's a song where I just feel like it brings people together, and right now that's what everybody needs. But I'm so buzzing, and just so happy that that people are receiving it in this way. I'm so lucky to have my fans stand by me and stuff, because it's been a while since I released any music and I've come back. So it feels really, really good.
Yeah, and the song is perfect for that as well. You're right, for sure. And about the music video, because I know that in the UK, you're on proper lockdown and the COVID regulations are pretty harsh. So how did you actually shoot the video?
Yeah, so we had to do a lot of government guidelines. We had to do leading up to the shoot. It was a very minimal set of people anyway. We literally just kept it very minimal crew, and abiding by the government guidelines. We had to all be tested a week before the video, 3 days before the video, and then on the day. So it was, yeah, and on set, everybody had to be wearing gloves, masks, the PPE. Like it was quite strict, which is good because we all felt very safe and everything was kind of taken into consideration, which was great. But actually being able to, you know, legally shoot the video and be in that environment, in a pub, be around people for the day, it felt really, really nice to get off the sofa and actually be around people and do your job.
I've heard that in June in the UK, you guys might be able to go back to doing live shows and stuff like this. So I have my fingers crossed for you that it's going to happen.
We all have our fingers crossed. Yeah, they've just announced that June, hopefully things are going to be lifted and things can start to go back to some form of normal, whatever that means. So yeah, fingers crossed for that.
Hopefully. So during the pandemic and quarantine and lockdown, I know that you've supported a lot of causes, like including children in need, you know, humanitarian causes. Can you tell me a bit more about that? Because it's really interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I think especially in times like COVID, I think more than ever, it kind of like makes you realize, you know, normally I live such this fast-paced life and everything going on, and you get involved with charities and you do your part and you come away and you don't really have time to think about it and properly get connected and get involved. And I think this is the first time that the whole world together is going through the same thing. Like normally, you know, it's a national thing or it's just a country thing or it's a town or community, but it's the first time where I feel like the world can actually connect on the same kind of level. And for me, that was just something that really triggered something in me to just get more involved with certain charities, like Children in Need, and just, you know, making sure that kids within their communities have access to things that they should have access to. And I feel like right now it's a very isolating time for a lot of kids, you know, with not being in school. It's a very strange time, and I can only imagine that it's a lot of stress on them and also their parents. So yeah, I think it was something that I wanted to make sure I took part in and use my platform to like spread the word and to help people go to donate for it and stuff. But yeah, it's been kind of nice. I mean, I've even set up things like a Cameo account where I'm doing videos for people in lockdown, and all of that's going to Mind charity. So anything to do with people struggling with mental health, which I know is being discussed more openly and widely across the globe now. But I feel like right now in this pandemic and with everyone in lockdown, I feel like people that maybe never struggled with mental health or anxiety before are really going through it right now for the first time. Or it might be, you know, that something's come back or something's triggered and they have all this time on their hands and they don't know what to do with themselves sat at home. So yeah, I think any way that you can kind of help and just kind of talk about things really, and use my platform for that.
For sure, yeah, it's really good when, you know, people like you with a lot of fans with a big platform, as you said, are using it for something good. So I'm proud of you. It's amazing.
Yes, oh, thank you. No, for sure.
Yeah, and since you started working on talking about mental health and stuff like this, tell me, how have you been dealing, you as a person and as an artist, with this whole thing? Has it like affected your creative process? Has it made it easier or maybe harder for you to work on music?
Just like I think everybody else, you know, I can't really separate myself from being an artist because like everything's kind of come into one. Like my studio's literally within my living room at home, and my family and my boyfriend and you know, like the first lockdown I did back at my parents' in the countryside, I was there and I locked down with them, and it was the first time I spent that much time with my mum and dad since I was a teenager. And you know, there was something really, as much as that sounds like get me out of here, but actually I really enjoyed it, and I just felt like I had this quality time with my mum and just was able to talk about things that maybe, I think so much has happened to me from a young age that I skipped a lot, and I think having that time to just feel rooted again, feel grounded, and come back to like where I grew up, even back to like I started writing songs again in lockdown on the piano that I taught myself piano on at home, and there was something really nostalgic about that and really cool. Don't get me wrong though, I went through the rise and falls of lockdown. I think the initial lockdown I was like, that's it, I'm going to be the best version of myself, I'm going to get fit, I'm going to meditate, I'm going to do yoga, I'm going to be this person. And then I end up not getting up till about 5 p.m. and eating cereal on the couch for dinner, and I don't know what time of day it is, and I'm in my pajamas. So every day's a different day, and that's okay. I think I definitely at the moment follow certain accounts and a lot of people where they're sharing more of the real side of lockdown, and it's about that, some days, I might want to get dressed up and put some makeup on and feel great, and there's nothing wrong with that. Just because I'm sat home, if that's what I want to do to make myself feel better, amazing. Then there's other people where it's like, absolutely not, I want to just chill out and stay in my pajamas and everyone's got their own ways of coping, and whatever it is, stick to it, because we've all got to get through this together.
For sure, yeah. I was one of the people who were just sitting at home in their pajamas. That's what I did.
Oh yeah.
I
think I forgot how to do my own hair and makeup at one point. I was like, I don't even know how to do this anymore.
Yeah, I know. After the first one, I was like that as well. I'm putting on my makeup and I'm like, oh my God, what's happening? I forgot how to put mascara on. Like, how did I do this?
Yeah, it's very bizarre.
It is, yeah. It's quite crazy. I also wanted to speak to you about your song with Jax Jones, which became one of the greatest hits, and it's really popular here in Bulgaria as well. So tell me about that collaboration. You're working with him. Like, how did this happen?
Yeah, Jax is actually a really good friend of mine, and the story goes that actually his wife is from the same village as me in England, up north in the country, and she's a family friend, and she used to babysit me growing up, and we're all really close. So for years, she was always like, oh, you should write a song with my partner, my boyfriend. This was way before he was Jax Jones and before I released Ghost. And I was like, yeah, like that's what they all say, like mixing business with pleasure. But like eventually when we met, he was such a fun guy, and we got in the studio quite early on. I mean, we wrote This Is Real like way before we both had success. And I always loved the song, and he always loved the song. And obviously I'm just super proud as like his little sister in the industry to see how much he's grown as an artist and his records, and he's just kind of built this whole empire now. And seeing that happen to someone that like is so hardworking, like, is amazing. But seeing someone that's actually your friend, it's amazing to see. And I know he feels the same about me as well. And yeah, we tried a lot of different artists singing the record, because originally I wasn't going to stay on it. And I think when it came back to it, he was like, do you know what? I want to put this song on my album, and the only way I want to do that is if you stay on it. Like, will you be on it? And I was like, yeah, of course. And it was meant to just be an album track. And then it kind of went out, and then it started streaming really well, and the fans kept pushing it, and it kind of started climbing. So he was like, look, I think I want to do this as my single now. So should we do it? And I was like, sure. And then we ended up in a studio shooting like a fun vertical video, which ended up being like quite a mainstream video. And it kind of just built organically. And I can remember at the start, even like radio was like, not so sure. And then like fans were requesting it. And then it ended up being the song it is now. So I think records, when they happen like that, it's very, it's overwhelming, and it gives you like, we knew that we loved the song years ago when we wrote it, but to see again, like it have that kind of reaction is wicked. But he's so much fun to be around, and he's such a good friend. And I mean, now I look at him as like my big brother in this industry. And whenever I'm writing a song and I'm doing a mix or a mix of my record, or I've written something and I want to have like an outside opinion, I'll always send him my song, and he'll be really honest with me. And that's hard to come by maybe sometimes.
I feel like most of the people, well, of course, this is what we're talking about in the conversation, but most of the people that you're working with are your good friends. So Tom, James, and Dax, this is really cool.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think whenever I do a collaboration, you hear a lot of, oh, the manager sent the manager the track and this happened, and there's kind of no artist involvement. And I don't know, I just kind of think whenever I've done anything, it has to feel organic, it has to feel natural, and it needs to kind of make sense. Otherwise, I don't really get the point in doing it. But yeah, don't get me wrong. If like Beyonce wanted to just send a song over and was like, let's do a duet, I'd hop on that straight away.
I
But
guess
no,
you're not gonna be like, you know what, Beyonce, no, I don't feel like it.
yeah, we're not friends, so we can't do this. No, exactly. I think it's always better when it's like, you know, when you have a good relationship with someone. And I think the fans know as well. The fans believe it or they don't. And I think when you're actually mates with someone, it makes such a difference because the fans want to see that relationship. And, you know, I want the collaboration to feel fun and real. And yeah, they always seem to end up that way. And I never know. I always start the year and I always reflect in December and I'm like, all those collaborations I did, like, how did they happen? Because you never plan them either. They just kind of happen along the way, or you meet someone, or, you know, and they happen. But yeah.
Yeah, definitely. It's really cool. So you just said it, that you don't plan them. And my next question was going to be, are you planning any more collaborations?
I mean, I'm writing a lot. I'm writing for my album and record and finishing it up. And I am working with some exciting people at the moment. So who knows? There's nothing set in stone right now, but I'm certain that I'm bringing a lot more music out this year. So I probably can guarantee that there'll be something coming later this year.
Good. I'm really excited about that. And of course, I want to ask you, what would you like to say to your Bulgarian fans? Because there's a lot of people here who support you and love you a lot.
I guess I just want to say I love you all and thank you all so much for the support over the years. And eventually, when all this lockdown and this pandemic is blown over, I cannot wait to come over and perform for you all and to meet you all and, you know, just pay you guys a visit. I miss traveling so much, so I can't wait for that day.
Oh my God, we can't wait to have you. That would be amazing.
Yes, no, I'd love to, absolutely.
Hopefully this year, fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
Okay. Well, Ella, thank you so much for joining us today. I had such a great time talking to you.
And you, thanks so much for having me.
Everything you're going to do this year, and I really, really hope to see you very soon live.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye. Have a great day.
You too. Thank you so much.